Hi guys, it's Richard Butler, Video Community Manager here at PitchGround. And in today's tutorial lesson, I want to talk to you about automation in Customerly. So automation is very powerful because it allows you to do certain things based on how people got into your chat or what they've done, etc. So really the best way to explain this is to show you a concrete example. So I'm in my Customerly dashboard and I'm going to click on Start Now. And what I want to do here is I want to call this people from Malaga, and I want to create a special offer for them. So like I've said in previous videos, the sender will be me, the replies will come to me. So the first thing I have to define is how do these people get into this automation? Now I'm going to call this Malaga chat, and this is just an internal name for me. Now I can say this is for all people, for users, which are people who have imported, or just for leads, new people coming in. So I'm going to say leads, and I'm going to add a condition. And I'm going to say that the condition is the attribute that I'm looking for is city, and it must contain Malaga. Now remember that you can have different conditions, that the city is not Malaga, that starts with Malaga, that ends with Malaga, does not contain Malaga, has any known value, is unknown. Okay, so if somebody came in and their city is not known for some reason, that it's not been reported by the browser, I could actually set it up so that a certain automation sequence happens. So I'm going to say contains Malaga. I'm going to save that filter. Okay, we can see it saved there. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send them an email. So I click on the email here and I type in a subject for people from Malaga. Now I'm going to use an existing template, which is the follow-up template. And I'm going to compose this email and I'm going to call this special offer, for example. So I've got a special offer for those from Malaga. Now, one of the things you do have to be careful is that the browser will report the city the person is from as it sees it. Now, what do I mean by that? So a lot of internet service providers may be using servers that are not in your city, and this is where you're reportedly coming in from. So right now I'm actually in Barcelona. Normally my IP address would be reported as Barcelona, but today, for whatever reason, whatever Vodafone are doing, it's reporting that I'm coming from Malaga. Sometimes it's from Madrid. Now, if I'm on a corporate network, it could actually be reporting a completely different IP or a completely different country because I'm going out through particular proxy servers. So just be aware of that I've said they're from Malaga, but maybe they're not. Maybe it's just where their IP is sending out the traffic. So for argument's sake, I'm going to say Malaga. I click on the little tick there and I'm brought back here. So the next question is, what happens after I send that email? Well, what I want to do, if I just move myself up here, is I want to put in a wait time. And I'm going to wait 3 days. So nothing will happen for 3 days. So I need to click to drag the little line that's going to appear here down to connect this. Now sometimes it's a good idea just to move these down a little bit so that they connect up easily. So I've connected up my wait time, and if I just click on wait 3 days, I can actually say it's minutes or hours or days. Now let me just move myself down here again. And now what I want to do is I want to send a chat message after 3 days. So I might say, did you see the offer? And then I'll say last day of offer. So what's going to happen here? In 3 days, the person, if they come back, or after 3 days, a minimum of 3 days, when they come back, they will see this chat message coming up because it'll remember who they are using cookies and IPs, etc. And it will then show this chat message. So I've just connected the chat message up. And the final thing I want to do here is, you'll just see at the bottom of my screen, there's a leave point. So the leave point allows me to say, once they have reached this message, this is where the automation stops. Now this is good to put in just to have it nice and tidy, but when there's no conditions, which are these here, well, then it's good to have a lead point. Now, what is a condition? Well, if they haven't visited the website in 3 days, do X. If they have, then do Y. So you can set up conditions, and that's where maybe you'd have a lead point to say, well, once they've done this, they leave the system. So not only is it good for conditions, but you'll also see in a few minutes why it's good to have the leave point. So I've now connected up my leave point, and as I said, sometimes it just takes a couple of tries to actually connect up the points there. Now that I've done that, I click on finish, and I say I want this to start immediately. I never want it to stop, and I'm going to run it from Sunday all the way through to Saturday, so basically all the time, and from 8 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock. Now once I've finished that, I'm going to check minimum times between actions will always be an hour, just in case I haven't set it, and I'm going to click on send now. So that's saved. I go back to my list. Now once I've gone back to my list, I see that I have how many people entered, how many people are currently inside, and how many have completed. And this is when they reach the leave point. So let me open up a new browser window and initiate a chat. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to initiate a chat. And I'll just put myself over here for a second. I'm going to call myself Richard. And I'm just going to put it in my email as December 1st.com. So hi there. So I start to type in the message there. If I go back to my window, so here I am in the chat. Let me just enter in something here. Hi and thanks. And I'm just going to reply and close that chat. Now, if I go into my automations, we can see here that one person has entered that automation and they are currently inside and 0 have completed. Now, remember the completion was that leave condition that we had, that after they've received the chat, after 3 days, they will then be marked as having left that automation. Now, I think what you need to do is you need to think about how you can use these automations, because you can get very creative with them. And as you get used to the system, you'll grow with the system and you'll find more ways to automate. Remember, you can automate everyone, leads, or users. And within there, what you could do is you could actually just trigger these automations for different segments, etc. So I've just gone into my Gmail account here, and interestingly enough, I just received this email for a special offer from people from Malaga from my Customerly chat that I had, and it is the special offer that I'd set up. So this is showing that the automation has worked, and in 3 days I should see a chat popping up, which would then be the next part of the automation.